Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to dive into a question that sounds like it's straight out of a science fiction movie. Is Earth's orbit becoming dangerous? The answer has some pretty surprising and very real-world implications. So, let's break it down.
So are we in danger right now just by, orbiting the sun? This is the kind of dramatic question you see online, right? It's designed to grab your attention. But today, we're going to get to the real, science-backed answer.
Okay, so before we get into the whole danger thing, let's just quickly get on the same page about what we even mean when we talk about Earth's orbit.
Yeah, it's basically this stable, super predictable path that Earth takes around the sun, and it's all held in place by gravity. You can think of it like this giant cosmic dance, right? The sun is leading, and its massive gravity keeps us locked in this steady rhythm. And this dance has been going on incredibly stable for millions and millions of years. It's the reason we have our seasons, our climate, pretty much everything.
All right, so if Earth's path isn't going rogue, then what's all the fuss about? Why are people even talking about danger in orbit? Well, here's the twist. The real story isn't about our planet's path changing at all.
The real threat, the one we actually need to be talking about, is what's happening in the crowded neighborhood right above our heads. This isn't some far-off cosmic threat. Nope, this one is entirely man-made. We're talking about space junk.
Get this. We are actively tracking over 30,000 large pieces of debris up there. And by large, I mean things like dead satellites, old rocket parts, basically all the junk we've left behind after decades of space launches.
But you know what's even scarier? It's the stuff that's too small for us to track. We're talking an estimated 1 million fragments out there, each one big enough to do serious damage. Think of them as tiny little bullets, zipping around at insane speeds. We're talking 17,000 miles per hour. A hit from one of those could absolutely destroy a satellite or punch a hole in a spacecraft.
So this really gets to the heart of it. The myth, the clickbait headline, is that Earth's actual path around the sun is becoming unstable. But the reality? The reality is that the space around Earth is getting dangerously crowded with our own junk. The threat isn't to life on the planet itself. It's a threat to our satellites and all our future space missions. It's not a cosmic problem, it's a human problem.
And all this junk, this orbital crowding, leads to a really frightening possibility, a scenario that scientists have a name for. It's called the Kessler syndrome.
So what is that? Well, imagine this. One collision happens up there. Maybe a dead satellite hits a piece of rocket. That collision creates thousands of new pieces of debris. Now that new cloud of junk makes another collision way more likely. And that collision creates even more debris. See where this is going? It's a cascade, a chain reaction that could, in theory, get so bad it makes low Earth orbit totally unusable.
Okay, so where does that leave us? Let's get to the expert verdict. Is our orbit actually safe?
All right, when it comes to the big picture, Earth's orbit around the sun, the experts at places like NASA and the ESA are all in agreement. There is zero evidence that our planet's orbit is becoming unstable. Yeah, there are tiny changes over millions of years, but nothing that poses any kind of immediate danger to us.
So this is the crucial takeaway, right? Earth's orbit around the sun is safe. It's the orbit around Earth that's at risk. The fear isn't that we're going to fly off into space, it's that we could trap ourselves down here under a giant shell of our own garbage.
So why does any of this matter? Why is this distinction between a changing orbit and a crowded one so important? Well, it matters because our entire modern world depends on keeping that space right above us clear.
I mean, think about it. The GPS that gets you around town? Satellites. The phone call you make across the country? Satellites. Forecasting a hurricane? You guessed it, satellites. Not to mention all the scientific research and any hope we have for future space exploration. All of it depends on a safe, usable orbital environment.
And this really shows you where the focus is for the people who actually work in space. The concern about Earth's orbital stability? Super low. It's not something they're losing sleep over. But space debris mitigation, cleaning up our mess, that is a huge concern. It's the problem everyone is trying to figure out right now.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's all about shifting our focus from some scary sci-fi idea to a very real, very present problem that we created.
Bottom line, the biggest danger isn't that Earth is moving. The danger is our satellites and spacecraft hitting our own junk. We need to stop worrying about the planet flying off into the sun and start focusing on the actual environmental problem we've created right here, just above our own atmosphere.
So really, the question we should be asking isn't,
Is our planet safe? Because, well, it is. The real question is, can we keep space accessible for our future? It's about whether we can be responsible stewards of this incredible resource, or if we're just going to trash our own cosmic backyard.